Hey everybody, and welcome to the weekly Reroll, the show where we recap what happened last week on Twitch in terms of Dungeons and Dragons, or at least the shows that I'm involved in. This week we have a slight change because we're going to be doing misclicks as well, but wasn't misclicks from this week, it was the misclicks from a week ago, or 2 weeks ago even. 2 weeks ago, because of the whole, getting married thing and leaving town and whatnot. So we're going to cover misclicks, we're going to cover Dicing with Death, and we're going to cover Honorbound. But I don't think we have any Roleplay Solemn, because I think the last Roleplay Solemn episode was like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. It doesn't need to be covered in this latest episode. It was already covered. So, without further ado, we're going to start with Dicing with Death. So if you don't want spoilers for Dicing with Death, you should mute now. Dicing with Death, Season 5, Episode 22. Oh my god, I can't believe Qualnir's been alive for 22 episodes. This week was an interesting one. We saw Qualnir finally get to Ashenhold Keep, where he was trying to overthrow, Sturge, to get his sister back, whose name's character sheet's around here somewhere, whose name is Awel. So we go to infiltrate Ashenhold Keep, and there's some questioning, like, well, who's living there right now? Who's the Lord? Who's in charge? And we decided to approach just up the front way with Michelle in the wagon, in the carriage. And Michelle was going to pretend to be a great lord to get an audience with the Lord of Ashenhold Keep. However, Hank, our carriage driver, did not give us a 1-minute warning before he arrived, so we couldn't cast the Friends spell, which means that we couldn't get her charisma beyond 17, because the plan was to cast Friends, bump her charisma to like 21, 22-ish, whatever we can get. And then, use her just massive amount of charm to charm her way through the gates, charm her way to whoever's in charge of the keep, and then kill him and get my sister back. But stupid Hank didn't give us a 1-minute warning, so we got screwed. And we got turned away at the gates. So we've developed a new plan. Qualnir and Michelle go hide out in the forest behind Ashenhold Keep. Michelle throws off a color spray on one side while Qualnir approaches from the other side. So everyone's like, oh my god, there's a color spray over there. What's going on? Let's go investigate. And then Qualnir uses that to sneak over towards that hidden panel in the wall that he'd found last time, going through that. And then he was going to climb the tower, but he didn't actually have an opportunity to because there were too many guards up top. So instead, we just climbed the wall. I mean, we were going to use a grappling hook and a rope, but our climb is pretty good these days. So we just climbed up the wall without the grappling hook. A little bit less safe, but hey, we did it anyway. We get to the top, take out the guard up there, but not before he manages to alert everyone else. We rolled, I think, a 2 on our surprise attack against him, which came out to a 12 total when he had 13 AC because of his studded leather. It was really frustrating. So the guard alerts everyone else. We have to then try and fight our way down the tower. And just roll 20 was against me. The dice hated me, and Qualnir got wrecked. I mean, wrecked. He only had 9 life to begin with, so he just kept not hitting people, and then he got surrounded, and then he got hit for 6, and so with 3 life and 3 guards surrounding me, having killed 0 of them and wounded 1 of them, Qualnir surrenders. Drops his weapons to the ground, says, I give up, don't kill me, take me to Sturge. And so Qualnir gets thrown into some sort of the treasure room that we had been in, that we got locked in before, the one with the weird tree. And poking around there, we find my sister. Actually, previous to that, we spoke with Sturge for a little bit, and then we got tossed in the room. Qualnir pokes around, finds his sister, finds a secret entrance into the actual treasure room, puts his sister in there, and as he's waiting in there and thinking, all of a sudden there's a noise. Oh my god, Sturge is coming. Dun dun dun. So we wait for Sturge to come inside while we hide in the actual treasure room. Sturge goes walking around to go find that tree, and he's like, where the fuck is this Qualnir guy, huh? I should mention that my sister had a magic circlet around her head and was tied to the tree and had no ability to think or talk or do anything. So I tried to remove the circlet, but I couldn't. And anyway, so Sturge comes in. I sneak out behind, stab him in the back, or I tried to stab him in the back, but it doesn't work. He turns to face me. I didn't try and stab him because I didn't have a weapon, right? So I put a hand over his mouth, and tried to like feel how many weapons he had and try and grab one of his weapons, but it didn't work. So I back up. He pulls out a weapon, or he goes to pull out a weapon. No, I don't remember exactly how the battle went down. It was a pretty sweet battle, but basically I ended up stealing Sturge's weapons from him mid-battle and then killing him with them. And it was pretty excellent. I got like 2 criticals with a dagger and then a bunch of max damages with the short sword, and one of the dagger criticals did max dagger critical damage. And anyway, I ended up taking out Sturge really quickly, very surprisingly, and then ran my sword through his throat to finish him off at the end, because I did not want him coming back to life, or somehow managing to eke by one way or the other. Then I break out of the castle. I intimidate some people as the Spectre of Ashenholt. I pretend to be Sturge for a moment to get some people to disappear and do things for me. You know, get one guy out of the room, trying to attack another one. Oh my god, it's a Spectre, come out, run around. Still at 3 life, I come across a knight at one point while I'm trying to look for my gear, who I can't actually beat in combat. I try to push him off a railing, and it doesn't work. He pushes me back, and I let him go, which is more like I scare the shit out of him, and he doesn't want to fight me, and I bluff my way into the high position, and he leaves. I go gather my magic gear, throw my sister over my shoulder, and just GTFO. Hop in the wagon that Hank's got, and Michelle, myself, my sister, and Hank all take off to the north, because we got to go find Bloodletter. Michelle does manage to remove the circlet from my sister's head, but we couldn't get any straight answers out of her because she was so malnourished and drained, basically. It looked like she had been level drained out of game. In game, it looked like she was malnourished and stuff. Yeah. So that was Dicing with Death. And next up is Honorbound, which just happened yesterday. So if you do not want spoilers for Honorbound, it is time to mute now. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I had to type a few things real quick. Honorbound. What happened? It was just yesterday. So we start up top where we had defeated the dragon. We just grill Chucky over and over again about the dragon hiding under some coins, and we make him feel really bad, which I started to feel guilty over. Maybe we didn't. Maybe that was just my own projections. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that Thimble decides that she's a little bored. These guys need a long rest. And we're all kind of sitting around going, well, what the fuck are we going to do? So Thimble's like, all right, well, I'll go get your gear for you, Ryan. And I'll hold your gold for you, too. So Thimble carries 1,500. Justin carries 500, because there was like 2,000 gold. And so we descend Justin throws a big rope down the tower. I climb down the tower, go rooftop to rooftop to go back and find Ryan's gear after having trouble finding Ryan's gear because they very, very poorly described its location. Thimble loots Ryan's gear for his platinum necklace, drags the bag out, and tries to hide it somewhere so that it looks like Ryan's loot was all stolen. Because Thimble's kind of a bitch right now. And so she ends up dragging it into the room with the Minotaur because she doesn't know about the Minotaur. And the Minotaur hops down behind her and is like, where's your pass? I'm going to eat you. And she's like, look, everyone in the castle's dead. You should just GTFO. The Minotaur's like, if you're lying, I'm going to eat you. And locks Thimble in the room, disappears, and Thimble's like, fuck, what am I going to do? Shit, I'm stuck. Oh my god, I don't have my lockpicks with me. Oh no, I'm screwed. So she then hides in the same spot the Minotaur hid. Minotaur comes back, is like, you weren't telling the lie. I'm going to go now. And then departs. So I depart too, and meet up with the PCs again. Be like, whoa, your stuff got stolen by Minotaur. Sorry, dude. And we rest. After resting, we can't figure out how else to open this gate. The gate that was left open, or that was going into the mountain that we saw last week. So eventually Martor's like, all right, well, I'm just going to use the hammer on it because I can't think of anything else to do. So we hammer the gate disappears, and then we enter the exposition phase of the session. We meet this guy, oh god, Eldritch, I don't remember his name, damn it, we can look it up later. But we go talk to this guy who's been guarding this moonstone forever. and there's a lot of exposition. He gives a nice big long 4-page speech, which you can actually find. I think Chucky has a link to it on his Twitch site, or Twitch channel. And then lots of exposition, a big kind of fight scene that we're not involved in where he holds off the monsters or something. And then he dies. And we get his little fairy chick who's been flying around, who I named Thumbelina because she didn't have a name. And then Ryan blows the horn and we go back to Goldfort, I believe. The exposition is too long to really explain, but basically it says once in the Age of Tranquility everything was happy and hunky-dory, and then some gnomes found a thing. And after a while, the humans broke open the thing, and other races were involved, and it brought chaos and pandemonium into the world, who wanted to test humanity, or test the world of Solemn, so he unleashed all the evils on the world, and a bunch of the old gods got corrupted, and something about people being locked into Moonstone. Actually, that wasn't really in there. The point is that we have to defend these moonstones and kill the 9 evil old gods who have turned into evil gods, or find a way to, restore them back from, instead of kill them. And we're not really sure how to do it, but we have got to raise an army and then go to Falumbra because there's some spirits locked in the underworld that we need to get back. So then we end up going back to Goldfort, and it's under siege, and we think there might be some sort of time dilation thing where, to us, it feels like we'd be gone 4 days, but it might actually have been 3 or 4 weeks. We're not really sure. Anyway, we fight off these guys that are attacking the castle, and we talk with the king, and he's like, well, we can do this, this, and this for you, but also the elves, blah, 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 and they left some griffins. And so we are resting for a week. Oh, we also changed the rules partway through, now that the DMG's out, to have a little bit more of a gritty system. So a short rest is now an 8-hour rest, and a long rest is now a 1-week rest. So if you want to get all your spells back, well, we might play with the spell bits, but if you want all your HP back, it's a week-long rest. And if you want to be able to expend hit dice, it's a 1-day rest, like an 8-hour rest. So we're using a slower healing system, which I really like, and we'll probably use in Age of Strife whenever that comes around. Anyway, so that's where we left off with Honorbound. And if you do not want misclick spoilers, you should avert your ears. Misclicks D&D Demigod Edition. So, this week, which was 2 weeks ago, on Misclicks Demigods, we had Pat Rothfuss. I am blanking on his name. The author. And he played an excellent halfling thief named the Red Wolf? The Red Fox. The Red Fox. And the party is going over towards... What was that place called? That place was called... that big meteor impact where the Titans came out, where the Cloud Giants came from. So the party is sent to go over there to retrieve the Philosopher's Stone and bring it back. And there's a little bit of an ambush beforehand where a bunch of these ruffians from the Bloodhound gang, who were attacking the party, or who was trying to get the Red Fox, attacked the party, and there's a whole bit with them. And the party's like, well, maybe we'll come back and deal with them later, but first we're going to go get this stone, because we need to know what this letter says. So the party goes off, defeats some of these gang members, makes it to where the stone is after some trouble and some trials. And it turns out that the stone is in the middle of this lake somewhere, and they're not sure where it is. And while they're talking about how they're going to get to it, there's these voices that appear, and some eyes appear in the water, and then this mist covers everything. And the party gets a little bit nervous, and the voices are talking about eating them, and the party's like, holy shit, what if we just bring you some cows, and you can eat the cows instead? And the voices are like, okay, fine, go get us some cows. And then the party stands around for 15 minutes talking about, well, maybe we could do this or that or this other thing. And they're just hanging out, and one of the voices is like, I'm tired of waiting, I'm going to eat you now. And materializes as a dragon, a small baby mist hatchling dragon. Hatchling mist dragon, there we go. And a fight ensues. That one gets killed, 2 others arrive and appear. And as the battle's not going too well for the party, they did kill one of the mist dragons, but they got the breath weapon off, they get a bunch of attacks, the party's kind of getting wrecked. And finally, the party's like, whoa, 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 hold on, let's stop fighting. We don't mean to kill you guys. You guys attacked us. We'll get you your cows, but only if you, get this Philosopher's Stone from us. And the Mist Dragon's like, well, we did attack you first, and we are hungry, and there's a whole bunch of dialogue which you should just watch the episode for. But in the end, the dragons in the party come to an agreement. One of the party members must stay behind to act as a hostage, while the other ones go off and bring back some cows for the party, and bring back some cows for the dragons. And in return, the dragons will retrieve the Philosopher's Stone and let the party member go. Arcus volunteers, in fact demands to be the one held captive, while the party, including Pat, go off to gather some cows. They gather the cows, they bring them back, and they come back and find Arcus has completely befriended the dragons and is hanging out with them, and they're all kind of hanging out together in a good mood. And the dragons give back the Philosopher's Stone, and the party gives the dragons their cows. Although I should mention, the party had to buy these cows, and the party was so greedy. They had tons of money, and the guy's like, well, I need this much for my cows, because, otherwise I'm not making a profit on it, and otherwise it's not even worth my time, because then I just have to go buy new cows. So if you want my cows, I'm going to sell them for this much, because, that's how I bought them for less. So I was like, fine, we'll do this, but... And just argues and argues and argues, and eventually the guy, drops his prices a little bit, and everyone's happy. And then it comes out afterwards that the party just has tons of money, and they're just squabbling and bickering over, 10 gold. Greedy party. But hey, whatever. Some people play greedy characters. It's fine. And that's where we ended off, as the party had gone back and gotten the Philosopher's Stone, and they're leaving the dragon pit, the meteor impact site, with the Philosopher's Stone. And I believe it's either tomorrow or a week from tomorrow that we play again. I think it's a week from tomorrow. And at that point, we will have Pat back as our guest. We'll probably be playing tomorrow too, and then a week from tomorrow with Pat. So yeah, that is Misclicks for you guys, and that has been the weekly reroll. As I said before, we've got Misclicks tomorrow, we've got Dicing with Death on Thursday, we've got Age of Strife on Saturday, and we have Honorbound on Sunday, and I have no idea where Solemn is. So that's it for the weekly reroll, guys. If you stay tuned, in about 10 minutes, we're going to do cartography, but there's going to be a 10-minute break, so feel free to go get food or water or whatever, or, go comb your hair, get it looking all nice for everything. I probably won't, and I will probably continue to be in my bathrobe because it's cold and rainy in San Francisco, and I just want my tea and listen to the rain while we do cartography. That's it. See you guys in a bit.